Look a bit further back, there's Chantra. Sam Lowe's coming in too hot.
Sam Lowe's. That's amazing.
Bisa dibilang di musim yang maha aneh ini di tahun 2020,
Betul.
penampilannya udah cukup lumayan. Nah ini starting gridnya nih di posisi 3, Augusto Fernandes juga race pace-nya juga mengerikan loh ini.
Iya.
Bezeki pun juga sangat kuat hari ini. Sementara yang hari ini harus start di posisi ke-12. Nah sebenarnya kalau belum konsisten gitu. Kalau hari ini apa masalahnya dia di Austria?
Saya melihat mungkin pembalap saat menghadapi back-to-back sirkuit dan sirkuit yang sama, mungkin ada aktivasi dirinya sendiri dan tampil dengan kondisi yang ada. Karena kalau kita
ngerasa nggak ada tantangan?
Iya, saya melihat seperti itu. Jadi dia lebih bagus daripada Kasmadana, sehingga tidak ada yang menjadi pemicu yang mungkin ada di tim.
Salah juga ya, ternyata race back-to-back di sirkuit yang sama tantangannya beda juga. Kirain jadi lebih
Just wonder whether the cooler conditions have convinced him to go soft. Martin Lowe's, Nagashima Marias. Is our Styrian Grand Prix winner coming from one of those 5, or will this man spring a shot? We peer to Aaron Kinnett's right and just see some of those rather ominous-looking grey threatening. All the fans, it's normally buzzing around this time. Me and Matt, that's located at the top of the grandstand, and it's just empty. In that KTM grandstand, it holds about 8,000 fans, I believe, and they would have loved to have seen this man, Jorge Martin's the case. That deal, I think, has been done for quite some time. It's just been the formality of when KTM will Danea Bastianini, 2 men also being strongly linked with the Cati MotoGP rise next year. They'll be trying. Cal Crutchlow keeps an eye on things. Dan can return to the podium, and now we prepare. The green flag is removed from the back. Tear off. Moto 2 is go. Good start from Jorge Martin. Got a bad start from Canet from Lowe's and Nagashima. Then coming into turn 1, Fernandez was well wide. It looks like he's just about going to cling on to that 4 through. Immediately, Remy Gardner's trying to get busy. He's just alongside Hector Gartho. Jake Dixon was also wide. Big twitch on the gas for Remy Gardner. Got to be careful. That's picked up a lot of rides. Look, I think that was Bezecchi initially, Matt. 11th to 17th. It's going to be a long race, given that shoulder problems with that big crash at turn 3 yesterday. He used to lock horns in Moto 3 not so long ago. Decent start as well then from Nagashima. Top 6. On board with the World Championship leader Luca Marini. That's Tom Luthi just up ahead of him. He dropped down the hill there. Martin on that speed up. Yeah, he said this was going to be a big learning experience today. He's absolutely livid. Fernandez fuming, that's for sure. Not happy with himself. Mistake on a full fuel tank then in that one there from Aaron Canet, and that might just invite Tetsuta Nagashima to come through. Yeah, Canet was saying yesterday this is going to be quite keen to see how the race unfolded, see how some of the faster, more experienced riders in Moto 2. Gardner's leading that second group at the moment. Oh, Canet's gone down as well. He was just offline, he was just like, that's not looking good. Let's hope that it's just something like a dead leg at the moment for Aaron Canet. He's pointing to the... What a shame for Aaron Canet. Turn 4 has caught him out, then it catches so many riders out. It's such a tricky way. He was pointing to that right leg, which is trapped underneath that Triumph engine and speed. He was going way too high. He's got tangled up with the bike there as well. Such an easy mistake to make. His learning experience at the front was not as long as what he was hoping for, sadly, for Canet, and that's really now broken up. Big advantage over Remy Gardner. Tom Luthi, actually, though, is the fastest man on circuit in 4th place by far. The Nagashima in 2nd. What an opportunity. Oh, who's that down? It's Sam Lowe's. He's now gone down. Is that Sumkiat? Who's gone down? What an absolute disaster for Mark VDS Racing. They cannot believe. Yeah, I was going to say. You can see another rider. Jorge Navarro. What's happened here? Chaos up at turn 3. Look a bit further. That was too ambitious and it's just out of control, I'm afraid. Sam Lowe's, that is your crash. Deary man. You're in the braking zone. It went horribly wrong for him with that false neutral yesterday. Unfortunately, that's just way too hot. I mean, that falls into the category, quite unequivocally, irresponsible riding. And Sam will know. DNF in 6th. The speed-up guy cannot catch a break. It's been a disastrous race so far for Mark VDS in that lead group down at turn 4 early on, and now Navarro down as well. Again, it's sort of that one's being looked at from upstairs. Anyway, let's try and recap. It's getting a bit dark here in places. And Gardner, good opening few laps for Remy Gardner with a full tank. That's very promising, Australian fans. He's up in 8th place as well, so good start for the Brit. Somehow Sam Lowe's is back on board. I was going to say, I thought potentially might be the British hopes now on the shoulders of Jake Dixon, who's having a great ride. Dixon inside the top 10 in 8th place by... Bezecchi's now getting in line with Tom Luthi as well. I think the Italian might just be squeezing into that. He will accept that. He knows that was dodgy, to say the least. There was
was faster than the pair of these in third, and likewise Bezzecchi now in fourth, the fastest man on circuit, isn't he?
He's like a yo-yo, isn't he? He's up and down. It's ridiculous.
This is a good onboard, actually, just showing you
Anything but that. But right now, when he has got his rhythm and when he's in his A game, he's right. So he did it the hard way. He's being closed in here by the brilliant Remy Gardner, who's looking really
away with the crash yesterday. Has actually helped him in a way. Here's Jorge Navarro. It's good to see that he's up on his feet.
Yeah, from Sam Lowe's bike. You're scrubbing off so much speed in that turn 3. The message here, he's just said his fastest lap.
Someone's gone down. Someone has gone down. We've got an onboard. I can hear an onboard. Fair assessment.
Isn't it?
It is turn 4.
So it's just been a day to forget for Russell Galil, but not for the first time. Sam Lowe's has jumped off a motorcycle twice in the same Grand Prix in Austria, was it? Yeah, well, that
I would imagine that there'll be a carrying penalty potentially into Misano getting a black flag.
We know the character of Sam Lowe's. Caught up and instigated this incident.
This was horrible. Watch some Chantra. No idea at all. Boof.
Barrow lookless on the outside. Nothing that he could do.
She's on board with Sam. Too ambitious, unfortunately, that one.
You know, when you're at that speed and that out of control in that section.
So is Bezzecchi. He is a couple of 2-3 tenths, I'd say, faster than Luti. Then Luca Marini, who's closing.
Knowing Sam Lowe's to be doing that, the first thing he'll be doing post-race is to go in the bow in his body. Just one of those things where it can happen in racing, unfortunately.
Simon.
Every Sunday, dear.
Yeah, thanks for that, Simon. It's just one of the problems when you're going high speed. Always going to have drama. This is closing up at the front.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's nothing between the lap times of the top 3. The 72 bike in 4th place. He was in the 28s. Last time around, Bezzecchi was the only man. Serious pace right now.
Remy Gardner, of course, in 3rd. Former teammates with Nagashima, who used to be on that motor full of fuel. I think his pace is going to be very, very good indeed, and the World Championship leader in Hector Gartho. What a ride!
Yeah, he had 3 podiums last year, and he's producing another electric performance, if you'll excuse the pun. Brilliant by Gartho, keeping Luca Marini. Now we look back now at the Japanese man on the number 45 bike, who's just closed that gap to Martin.
Now with Nagashima.
Yeah, Nagashima's pace as well, Steve. That's lifting Gardner's game too, because Gardner doing a stellar job right now. We have to repeat because it proves what an outstanding job he's doing. He's on the 20.
Great onboards through the final 2 corners again, just give you an idea of the undulating circuit here in Austria. Across the line, Gardner there, much quicker than Tetsu.
And from Remy Gardner, and just behind him, Marco Bezzecchi was also in the 28s. Martin and that very, very low 129s. It's just that the 2 men behind them, Gardner and Bezzecchi, have found some serious rhythm.
Likewise, Aaron Canet after that horrible fall in turn 4 where the bike was stuck on top of him.
Yeah, it's been a bad to forget in Austria for the Aspar boys, that's for sure.
Gardner can smell a second place. Pouncing on Nagashima here shortly.
Yeah, because I don't know whether Nagashima's made a mistake, but Martin's trying to reel him back in that 3rd sector.
Through turn 9, now turn 10. Bike of Nagashima's, that seems to be the area where Remy Gardner's losing out. He's got, do you know, speaking to Extern Pro actually a couple of days ago, and they said there is nobody in motor,
and he's got to make up for 8 or 10 kilos.
Right, exactly, and then that of course does put, it's a balancing act, isn't it, which means that it's all the more impressive to see him up there.
Strong victory challenge, because Martin looked like he might be trying to make a break, but Nagashima dug in.
These guys are going to be very nervous after what happened last week. Remy Gardner was fuming, as he's known as. Number 88 leads from Nagashima, who again in sector.
He's coming right into this battle as well, isn't he, for the podium?
And just look on acceleration how much Nagashima can pull.
And Nagashima's not a wee lad, is he either?
No, not at all. This is Luca Marini, he's the world champion.
Qualifying didn't help him down in 12th place, his worst qualifying in 12, but has he made a mistake again with that? No, just squeezing Nagashima right out of the paint. Came from a long, long way back there, didn't he?
Well, but it's also helped Martin out up front, just get a couple of tenths as they tip it.
Got that problem with his weight on acceleration. It's going to have to be a daring raid and an ambitious raid. And of course, a tenth here, half a tenth there, so he's got to try and force the issue and get through as quick as he can. Simon.
Thanks, Simon. We're on board here then with Nagashima looking back to
Garda sector or turn 3, and Martin has got the hammer down now. He's just went quicker than Gardner, and in the blink of an eye the lead has been stretched out to 9/10 to the second.
Nice and easy block pass into turn 3.
Yeah, he's got a little bit beaten up, isn't he, at the moment in turn 3. Now bruised him.
Zeki then, since he's broken free, Hey is making progress.
Good ride that, because he's come from a long way back. 19th he started.
He's got a faces. It could be more points lost here for Luca Marini.
Jake Dixon doing a great job keeping himself out of his cells last weekend with that crash that instigated all the chaos and carnage at turn 1. He hasn't looked. He was 21st in the grid. Only the second time he's missed the top 20 in qualifying since Sepang 2016. So bad double, he pulled the pin here.
Another one.
Yeah, another PB lap, 28.871, and nobody at this stage has got the circuit.
We are halfway through this race though. There's a lot of race left here, but you'd think that 1 point off to claw back.
Yeah, Betseki's got really good rhythm. It's by the time he gets through on the Australian, if he gets through on the Australian, which is not going to be an easy task.
11th right now, which is uncharacteristic, has been given a track limits warning, so he's going to have to 3 coming out of the race leader, Martin.
This could be a very heady times indeed for the Spaniard.
Remy Gardner's just 20 points, and it would really send a message to a few people in the paddock.
It really would.
But the NTS team, especially Ben Snyder, cannot wait to leave Spielberg. He's got a long lap penalty.
So, Betseki swarming all over Gardner. Gardner trying to take just his second World Championship.
Nagashima as well, but here is Betseki. He's got that inside line into turn 4 as well, but can he outbrake him? No, he can't.
Keeps Betseki at bay.
These guys are worrying. Fingernails chewed off.
They're getting their gate box.
Yeah, Tom Luthi just in the background, number 12. He's about 3 or 4 tenths a lap quicker than Tetsu.
The Gardner at turn 3 or 4 laps ago, really seemed to have knocked Nagashima out of his stride. He's not
across the line for Martin. Is it going to be another 1:28 for him? A 29.0, that will do.
And not too far behind was Remy Gardner. Gardner having to fire in low 129s to keep Betseki behind him. These positions in Moto 2 and Moto 3, he's been able to get the job done.
Betseki's trying to find any which way possible now. Can he try and get through on Gardner again? I don't think it's going to happen here.
I think he started. He's just put in a 28.981. So he's got podium pace.
He's the same. He's just started getting into the low 29s. Likewise, the pits he had remounted. It's just capped off what has been an awful day for Styira Galizia. Might be
hoping that favourite circuit can fire some momentum into his championship charge.
Just shows you in every session top 3, and that crash, that false neutral, just sort of horse start meant he was trying to make up for lost time. Here comes Betseki then in the race. Look at the speed difference from how far back he was. Well, again though,
we're finding out how much abuse had unlocked everything he can to try and keep Betseki at bay. Betseki though got him back on the drive coming out of turn 3.
But he can't watch himself. He's worried. He's told, Betseki's just told Remy closed this gap down to Jorge Martin.
Good luck with that one, Marco.
Do you know what?
Nagashima's got a
for Remy just to see if Marco can, because at the moment Remy's not been able to claw in Jorge Martin.
Remy Gardner really good on the front end. In fact, an ultimate corner. We can see how many corner, and it'll be the same as they come out of turn 1 as well.
You're right about Nagashima. He was half a second quicker than the 2 guys is Gartho, Dixon, Bastianini, Schrotter and Roberts.
So they've still got time in the race, but the lap time's so close. Nothing between the top men in terms of speed.
He's actually had a tenth taken out of him by Marco Bezzecchi, who has broken just away now from Remy Gardner. So with 9 laps to go, can Bezzecchi apply any pressure at all to Martin, who looks more than...
Being hotly pursued by 72 Bezzecchi. Of course, they jousted it out for the Moto 3 World Championship. He's the marginally quicker man. 128.869 from the Italian there on the Sky bike. And Heroes as Jorge Martin produced in this Grand Prix. A lot.
Martin, okay, that's another point lost for Marini. The championship is just so tight in Moto 2.
Braking zones, turn 1, turn 3 and turn 4. Just wonder if he had his time over again, whether than previous conditions here this weekend. But not what we're expected from Marini at all.
Long lap penalty, a double long lap penalty coming the way for the number 64. Ouch. Second lead, and now a 1.5 second lead going into the final sector. So Bezzecchi's getting his teeth stuck in.
Got such a comfortable advantage. If 1.4 seconds over Marco Bezzecchi is comfortable at any time.
Even though Gardner and Nagashima look cut adrift at the moment, if these guys were to get close enough, I mean, look at what that does to sector one, the gap between Martin and Bezzecchi. There's the championship leader, then Marini.
On to Vierge's pace. Vierge was 4/10 quicker than Marini on that last lap. And from mid-race onwards, he's got really, really strong pace. At the moment, he's down in 10th place. And their lap times are quite stable. That was Nagashima wide, wasn't it, coming down the hill into turn 6.
And there is enough time. Through sector 3 again, you're right, Matt, that is where he's loose. Has started picking up his pace as well. Is there a twist in the tail here in Moto2?
Down on that lap by Bezzecchi. Gardner is the only man in the top 10 of Remy Gardner at 28.969.
He won't like seeing that gap coming down on his pit board. Has he got anything left up his sleeve to go?
Well, Bezzecchi's piling the pressure on here, isn't he, as Gardner's in wide through turn.
Just to let Marco guide him towards the front and then just go for it at the end, because
he's made, as soon as he disposed of Gardner's challenge in second, although that's still not run its course.
9/10 now.
There's the incentive here, isn't there, of his first Moto2 victory 3 times a couple of years ago. And he's down to under a second for the first time.
Yeah, he's just been given the message. I mean, the guys in the...
As Jorge Martin just not slackened off his pace, but he just wearing a bit of time management here. It's a long
there. I mean, that was a bit too hot, to be honest, going into turn 3.
Yeah. You could just see he's on the corner exit, on the brakes going into the corner. He's got that Triumph 765 CC engine squealing on the...
As a rider like Marco Bezzecchi now, you can see yourself sector by sector.
Yeah. Now we're in the section of the circuit where Martin has really found the going quite tough. Let's see what the advantage, 7.5 tenths. Again, Bezzecchi's found yet another 10. This is game on.
I think, Matt, across the line we go. Jorge Martin leads then with 4 laps remaining in Moto2 and a 20th Moto2 victory.
That last lap, Martin had an 8/10 of a second advantage. It's been slashed. He's down by just over 3/10 of a second. Another high 128 from Marco Bezzecchi.
Miles away.
Jake Dixon's just done his personal best lap of the race, a 129.124. That over fist was Bezzecchi just in a fraction too hot into turn 4. Dixon,
to go into a 2-week break with would really do him the world of good. Here is Tom Luthi then. Is there any more to come from the experienced Swiss rider? Now then, the gap's at 7/10 to get to 3. Again, he's lost another couple of tenths. There'll be 3 to go when they cross the line.
Luca Marini went well over a second behind Xavi Vierge, who's really quickly dispensed of his challenge.
The 2 quickest men on the circuit was quicker than the 2 ahead of him as well.
Yeah, nothing is there really between the lap times. That's the slowest coming strong behind him, where he wants to be dropping down into those 129.2 region.
You can see the gap behind you coming down through sector 2 we're about to approach, and Bezzecchi is going to be within just a couple of tenths of a second with 2 laps to go here.
And I'll tell you what, Marco Bezzecchi could, but it will certainly go down well on the other side of the VR46 garage as well. Of course, we saw Luca Marini.
It's down to 3/10 of a second now then, as they drop down the hill into turn 9, and
see there, Pablo Nieto can barely watch the monitors on the pit wall here, because they know he's good on the brakes into turn 1 is Marco Bezzecchi.
Martin, the Raceway 3, Motegi, 2018. Remy Gardner is not out of this either.
He's not to be fighting back at the front again, because we've not seen that since Jerez.
Gardner struggled out of turn 3. Martin was slightly wide there through turn 4.
Well, Remy Gardner, he's earned this podium. He certainly did. Well, this is going to be all about the last lap. And what has Marco Bezzecchi got left? It's going to be an advantage of around what you think 3/10 over the line. It's just under 3/10 now then. On here in Austria, can Jorge Martin make it back-to-back wins in Moto2 for...
Will Marco Bezzecchi have a look? Is he going to be close enough on the drag uphill? Oh, that's
Then there was a wheelie, the front wheel popped up, and that's cost him at least 5 bike lengths. Was that the decisive?
Not over, then they drag down the hill. Marco Bezzecchi will be desperately hoping that Martin can maybe run it back to enter Matt, the crucial sector 3.
Yeah, what has Marco Bezzecchi got left? Has he got anything left? But severe pressure on Jorge Martin, who has not yet buckled, although through turn 6, Bezzecchi.
Out of turn 8 we go then. Marco Bezzecchi, can he find a way through on Martin? He's not close enough. Round turn 9 we go. Is there anything he can do into turn 10? He's not going to do it.
It's not going to be...
From Martin, he takes 25 points. Second for Bezzecchi and a great podium.
Oh, he answered some big questions today, Jorge Martin. There was a lot of pressure came from Marco Bezzecchi. Well, that's championship of their relationship now, and what a result that was for him. And Remy Gardner, what a ride, just the second podium of his Grand Prix career.
The end from Gartho, so a great result for him. Simon.
All the riders, I've got to say, Martin and Bezzecchi absolutely